not a lot of people are giving Auburn a chance. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Auburn has a lot of motivation in this game. I think my biggest question mark for Auburn is if they can handle adversity early on. Everybody knows what's coming in here, especially on the offensive side of the ball for Clemson. Auburn defensively has a lot of young and inexperienced players, but I think if things can go well early for Auburn defensively early, and they can find some confidence and build some momentum, anything can happen in this building. Jordan-Hare Stadium, I've lived it, I've seen it at nighttime. This place is crazy. And if Auburn drags this Clemson into deep water late in the game, and absolutely I don't deny for a second that Auburn has the talent and the ability to pull this one out.
What do you think of Sean White, Auburn's quarterback?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Sean White and his toughness. I think he's got a lot of moxie. He was a completely different quarterback a year ago before his knee injury against Arkansas. I think the reason he was chosen as the starter was because I think he gives this offense the best chance to have balance throwing the football, but I also think his mobility is very underrated, and for this offense, when it's at its best, the quarterback's been a threat in the running game, and it wouldn't surprise me tomorrow night if Sean White makes a couple of big plays with his legs as well.
Do you think Auburn's defensive line or defense as a total can corral Deshaun Watson in there?
Yeah, I think Auburn feels really good. And to me, Auburn's D-line's the strength of the entire team. I was looking at that unit. They're led by a potential first-round pick and Carl Lawson, who's finally healthy, and he's a real disruptor. But I feel like they think they can go about 10 deep, which is going to be important in this game, facing an up-tempo offense with the weapons Clemson has. But they're really deep on the inside. They've got athletes playing in the interior of the line. They've got a couple true freshmen that are going to see snaps that I know they're very excited about. And there's no doubt about it, pass rush integrity and staying in your gap against a quarterback like Deshaun Watson is a huge thing. But there's no doubt about it, if there's a good scenario for Auburn where I think they might have a positional advantage in this game, it's that D-line against the Clemson offensive line that has to replace two starters.
Who do you have in this game?
I'm not allowed to pick because I'm calling.
Oh, man. Is that right? Is that the kind of what you go through?
That's kind of what we all go through, unfortunately.
That's too bad. How do you think Auburn will do the rest of the season? How do you think they'll stack up?
I think Auburn's a team that's so ready to turn the page from last year. I think you can make an argument that they were the most disappointing team a season ago. They were picked to win the SEC. They won 7 games and had 6 losses in the conference. And just everything seemed to go wrong with issues at quarterback early. They had key players go down to injury. Key players get suspended or dismissed. This year, I don't think anyone really has high expectations. I think they're picked to finish second last in the division, but they got a lot of talent. And if I look around just the SEC in general, there's a lot of major question marks with a lot of the biggest teams that a lot of people seem to be picking to win. So as you saw with Tennessee against App State, week 1 on Thursday, sometimes teams have glaring deficiencies that we don't talk about early on that begin to show themselves. So let's just find out. This is week 1. They're playing a phenomenal opponent in Clemson, but I think Auburn has the talent, I think, to potentially make a run in this division.
I got an off-the-wall question for you.
Yeah.
Jordan Rogers on the SEC Network now. From one guy who was on The Bachelor to one who was involved in that franchise as well, how can you relate to him? Have you talked to him and give him any pointers about joining the network?
No, I haven't really talked to him too much. I know him a little bit. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. I think at the end of the day, you just got to know football, and that's really it.
Did that prepare you at all for being on TV more?
I think it might have in a weird way, just being used to having cameras in front of you, maybe more than anything. But with respect to this job, it's a lot about X's and O's and kind of what you know.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you want